Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review, and today we're taking a look at the last figure I needed to catch up on the G.I. Joe Classified Cobra Island Target subline. This is Beachhead. I got this figure from Target.com, and what's really cool is I was able to get it after their Summer Fan Fest, so they were restocking these. More on that at the end, but I do not know if they still have some available, but you might be able to get lucky and find it in stores. This retails for about $22, the same as every other 6-inch Marvel Legends style collectible figure, and it is really cool. So let's pause, we'll strip the figure down, and we'll come back and see what it comes with. Okay, so here's Beachhead and all the accessories it comes with. As I've sort of discovered with these store exclusives, Beachhead tends to come with a little more than, say, your standard classified figure. Looking at the figure, I'm sure as we've already been able to tell, this was reused. A lot of the parts here were reused to do Firefly, another figure we'll get to and down the line, but really cool, great looking angry head. And here's a little bit of G.I. Joe trivia for you that I didn't know until I saw Arise Serpentor Arise Part 1. Beachhead was actually, according to the cartoon, 4th in command of G.I. Joe. It was General Hawk, Duke, Flint, and then Beachhead. So, kind of interesting. I never really thought of the character as a leader type. Really depending, in conversation, he's one of the, not even secondary, but more tertiary or even 4th level G.I. Joe figures. And it's often forgotten, but really a cool guy, and just like one of those real straight ahead military G.I. Joe types. Military types in the G.I. Joe team. But the head is quite posable. It has the neck joint as well as the hinge, so he can look up like that, look down. I gotta tell you, I know plenty of Marvel Legend collectors will kill to have that type of head articulation on their figures. He has the butterfly joints here in the chest, as well as universal hinges there in the shoulder, bicep, double jointed elbow. This hand can go up and down as well as swivel. This arm has all the same articulation, just that the wrist goes in and out. There is waist articulation, and of course there is some ab working, but with this vest on, it's locked and limited, but you can bend over a little. I mean, I think it's enough if it has to sit down. Again, the Japanese collector figure style drop hips lets you get some range of movement there. So that's very nice. Swivel at the calf, double jointed faux ratcheting knees, thigh swivel, very nice and easy to access forward and back ankle articulation, as well as very nice pivot. This foot is somewhat limited due to the sheath on the leg. This one is a little bit more. But very nice detailing here with the armor and all that. Really, after that first wave of Classified, we started getting more G.I. Joe figures that, frankly, look like the characters we remember. It comes with this nice little green K-bar knife. Fits into the sheath right there. Really cool. Holds the weapons quite nicely. Little handgun here. This is just a solid green version of the same handgun that Duke came with. Fits in the holster. Now this comes with his Ranger beret. That can go on the head. Unfortunately, I have not found any other place to store it. And seeing as how, if you remember the classic Beachhead figures, most of the time the beret was stored under a strap here. So it would have been nice to have maybe like a folded beret you could peg in. As it is, if I were displaying these figures, this would be left in the box, since the classic Beachhead look is just without the beret. Coming around to the back, there is a hole for his backpack and some nice detailing. You'll notice that almost looks like a rocket or something. Flashlight, pouches, some arrows, because it does have a crossbow. The crossbow, of course, can be held in either hand, and very nice deep groove there that can just peg it in. And I think this crossbow comes out a lot nicer than the old 25th anniversary crossbow that, you know, had a couple pieces and was kind of hard to stay together. The final bit to Beachhead's armory here is his rifle, which, for you eagle-eyed Nerf collectors, this is the Nerf Vortex Nitron. I think that the fully automatic version, I have this. I'm pretty sure it's called the Nitron. It's a little modified because they've given it a full clip here instead of the smaller cylindrical clip, but it's really cool to see Hasbro recognizing the fact that for fantasy weapons, they have a whole department that can like make this, that has made this stuff. And I hope going forward we see some more Nerf weapons realized in the classified line. We've also seen them in Marvel Legends, so why not? And as you saw at the beginning, you can hold it in either hand. Unfortunately, there is no storage on the figure, at least not that I can see or can tell, but I think, you know, there's enough storage as is, so that's kind of cool. One thing I do want to notice, while posing the figure, you may sometimes accidentally knock the backpack off. It'll stay, but just from handling, you might knock it. Take a lot of those pouches there on the arm. Oh, that's incredible. So, yeah, that's about it for Beachhead. Let's pause, and we'll come back with my final thoughts. If you couldn't tell, I really liked the Beachhead figure. I think this was a fantastic addition to the classified line. And yes, when it was first released, I was very disappointed that Beachhead was part of the Target exclusive Cobra Island subline. But I have to tip my hat to Target. And Hasbro, they did recognize that there was an issue, and they went ahead and corrected the issue by re-releasing Beachhead as part of the Summerfest and making the effort to get it out there. I don't know if we're going to see more going forward, as the Cobra Island subline is going to be continuing, and eventually I think we're going to transition into Tiger Force versus Python Patrol. So do I think there's too many store exclusives out there? Yes. Do I think it's fair? No. Is it a necessary evil to get figures out? I'm not sure. But, you know, I just looking at them as they are, this is a great figure, and I hope down the line maybe they can re-release it in the main line, preferably with a straight animation deco. I think that'll look really cool. But with Super 7 apparently doing animation style G.I. Joe figures, I don't think we're going to see animation style figures in the classified series, which is kind of disappointing, because those Super 7 figures, they look good, but they're not going to have the articulation as the classified series. So that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. But I will always appreciate the views. Your likes, comments, and subscriptions help communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel is one that should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, and it's entirely up to you, please consider joining my Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. Little card here in the corner, hyperlink in the description below. All I ask for is $1 a month or $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you, help me to help you bring figures like Beachhead to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't swing the $1 a month or $12 a year, that's more than all right. Your views are thanks enough. As I always say, Patreon is a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. So, this is your old pal Chuck for Beachhead. We will see you next time.